Howdy, folks. How's the lighting? How's the sound? And most importantly, how are you? Hello, Leo. Evening Soda. Hello, Brundle. Hello, Computer Guy. Listy says it's time to play the music. DMC strike. Weird Guy says woohoo. Ugh, pardon me. In terms of an update on what bloody hell, chat box. I've said it before, saying it again. It's either giant size or ant size. What? Such a drama queen. Just wants all the attention, doesn't it? Okay, turn that down a little bit. Hopefully that'll be better. So does looks and sounds good. Excellent. Kes says, hey Jam, just saw Elton John the other night. Almost choked. Wow, I am so jealous. How was he? And did you have a good time? Listy, yo Listy. Good evening, Joshua. Anyway, so in terms of an update on my foot, I can walk all right now. Not perfectly, still a bit like a very nuanced hobble going on, and like if I walk for too long, then like I can feel something. But like it's a massive improvement. I've had to basically force my body to learn to walk again, really. While also, yeah, and I've also had to take antibiotics. I've had to take a very hard painkiller that makes me woozy. What other updates? I mean, like, there's not much else to really say. I'm just getting better. As like I say, I'm getting better. Chat box for those who need glasses. Yeah, I'm fine. I could, if I wanted to, I could literally just get up right now and walk out. Before I was just like, drugged. No, I'm not on painkillers at the moment. I'm taking them less now. Like it's easier for me to walk. The only reason I was taking painkillers, more often, and very hard painkillers, by the way, was I was trying to force my body to handle putting the foot down. Like, as soon as I put the foot down, it's excruciating pain. So I had to, like, get painkillers to, like, soften the pain a bit. So I could, like, force my body to force that foot to learn to walk again. Pretty much. Leo says, just enjoying lotus leaf wraps for the first time. Nice. Yeah, painkiller James is annoying. Because, like, okay, So the thing the painkiller I'm taking is called Cocomidol or something like that, and like there are certain things. It makes me woozy, it makes me weird, makes me super tired, and it makes my dreams so fucking weird. I've had some of the weirdest dreams. Even when I daydream, they're weird. They've been weird, like the trippiest dreams and really, really vivid dreams as well. Really lucid, vivid dreams, and like, blimmin' heck. Soda says, I know that feeling. Cursed, he was great, and I had a great view of him on the ground floor. Probably my favourite bit was when he sang Still Standing, and the giant screen showed the best of his entire career, including his one weird cameo in the Country Best movie. What? What? Surely it showed his other film appearances besides that, not just the Country Bears movie, or is that just the one appearance that he's proud of? I kind of hope it is the case. Just all these music videos and then Country Bears. Brindle, did you hear the news about Muppets Mayhem, a Disney Plus show about the Electric Mayhem? Yes, I think I've heard of that. From what I read, I don't have high hopes there. Nah, I don't mind. Electro Mayhem is sick. Give him a show. Whatever, I don't mind. To be honest, I've barely paid attention to any of the Disney Plus Muppets spin-offs. But yeah, so today I will be going through my picks for the top 5 Muppets characters. I knew who my number 1 was right away, but like, I spent a bit of time thinking and racking my head around like, what about the others though? what are my other top 5 favorites? So yeah, I guess I'm pleased with my choices, but like I don't know. I don't know. I'd say I'm like 98% sure. It's hard to be 100% sure because there's just so many Muppets. Because I know, right, but yeah, they showed me other bits like his cameos in South Park, The Simpsons, as well as his Lion King contributions. Okay, so it wasn't just Country Bears. Kind of disappointed. I kind of hoping that like the one cameo that he wanted to show off was like, did you know I was in Country Bears? Yeah, you were also in Tommy. Come on. You also collab with Gorillas. Come on. So yeah, top 5 favourites, and then we'll discuss your favourite Muppets as well. We'll have a chat about your favourite Muppets too. Yeah, so let's have a nice little chat before we get on with the countdown. Nice little countdown. If you want to talk about like what you've been up to, feel free to share now. We'll spend the next 10-15 minutes just having a nice little chat. I have barely anything to really update you on besides the progress of my firm. Oh, I have a new video coming out. Should be out tomorrow. It's a Jambareeqi orange video on My Neighbor Totoro. Yes, I look forward to that. And then after that, I'll be getting on with the Flintstones movie video, but I just don't know when that's going to be done. I'm kind of getting dragged all over the place this week, so like I can't really fully commit to videos this week. I'm just like, we need you here, we need you there, kind of thing, going off at this week. So oh dear God, I don't think I have a favourite Muppet. Have a think about it over the next 45 minutes. You've got a chance to really think about it. Brundle, special place goes to Tim Curry, the living Muppet. Adam, out of curiosity, do you have a particular favourite Muppet movie villain? I don't know. I have, the thing is that like I know people want me to rank the Muppet movie villains. So I don't really want to say at this point. I mean, like, I'm leaning towards John Silver, but, like, I just don't. I want to rewatch all the Muppets films again and really kind of, like, work out, okay, who do I really think is the best Muppet villain? And what's kind of interesting about the Muppet villains is that, like, most of them are humans. Most of them are humans. I never really, like, let that click in my head before. But it's like, yeah, most of them are humans. So it's going to be really weird being like, yeah, I'm going to rank all the Muppet villains, and the thumbnail will just be a bunch of people. I think there's only like 1 or 2 actual Muppet villains. Adam, I've always been partial to Nikki Holiday. We'll definitely get to everyone else's favourites at the end of the stream. First, nearly ready for my adult panto based on Robin Hood. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds very fun. It's been ages since I've been to a panto. Don't know if I'd ever go again, if I'm honest. It's a very family kind of thing. Yeah. But interesting that Computer Guy and Brundle are having a nice little conversation in German in chat. That's adorable. Nice little European socializing going off in chat. I love it. Don't stop. I like it. It's very charming. Like, I've seen a lot of people that are I've seen a lot of streamers that are like really strict about what languages you can talk in chat, and I'm like, talk whatever language you like. I just can't promise I'll be able to like understand it and reply. I don't mind. I'm cool with like a multilingual chat going off. It's cool. I like that. It's like an episode of Hello Hello in here. Love an egg. To be fair, I am wanting to learn some language. There are some languages that I'm wanting to learn. It's just time. It's just time. I'm trying to learn Welsh at the moment. And some other languages, but like it's just time. It's just stopping to do the time, and I'm just really bad at remembering things. Whenever I'm like taught a phrase in a language, it goes through my head, and like that's how I say it. I repeat it back, and the next day I'm like, what was it again? Like nobody should ever try and teach me languages because they'll go insane. It just doesn't work. Here we go. Trying to have a conversation in German, not speaking a language for over a decade makes it surprisingly hard to get back into. Brundle, when it comes to Muppet villains, I can't decide between John Hopper from the first movie or John Silver. Yeah, I'm leaning between those two. If I'm honest, if I'm looking back memory-wise, I feel like those two are the ones that really stand out the most and work the best for their respective films. Listy, I play on Duolingo to pass time. It's not the best way to learn. It's not, no, but I'm picking stuff up. Yeah, I wouldn't use it as a professional teacher, but like it's good for like basics. It's good for basics. I will try and learn some languages eventually. I have considered doing like streams or videos where the challenge is I learn a language, then I'm forcing myself to learn, and that'd be kind of interesting. I actually would be down for that, especially considering that some of my mods don't speak English. Like they could like make sure I'm saying things right. But I wonder what language I'd learn. I don't know what language I'd actually learn, but like I'll be down for like the challenge of like trying to learn it and stuff. Chatbook still looks way too big. It's such a drama queen. It's like look at me. Right. Leo says, I would love to learn French. Computer guy's right there. Have a contact of computer guy and get some lessons from computer guy. I did. I was okay at French in school because my mum knew a bit of French growing up. So like she would. It was kind of cool because like the first day I went for my French lesson at school, my mum was just threw a load of like things into my head. So then like when I went for the first lesson of French at school, everyone was going through the basics and like I knew all the stuff that was being said and I knew how to say it right. And the teacher was like, what? I was like, yeah. Bruno says, I want to see you trying to speak German just to give you the worst words. Oh no. I'm not the best at pronunciation as well. I'm not the best at pronunciation. I can't even pronounce English words sometimes, I swear. So that's how well I'll do it other languages. But yeah, it'd be interesting to do. It'd be interesting to like do a whole stream where I'm learning a language. Particularly if I've got someone who doesn't speak that speaks the language on the stream with me to kind of like bounce off of. I'm down for doing that. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna humiliate myself by trying to read what Computer Guy just said. So I don't think I have the patience to learn a new language. There was a reason my lesson was changed from French to IT. No, I get it. It's you really have a lot of patience and great memory skills and wow. Leo, I will say you can always tell who knows their German by how they say. I'm not gonna say it then. I'm not gonna say it. If that's my test, then no. Listen, hey Jambareeqi, did you have that thing in French lessons at school where Antoine de I can't pronounce that, would turn up and all the kids that knew Neurotrash would start giggling? No. I was part of the Eurotrash generation and I did stay up late for it, but like I don't remember like Antoine being there in French lessons. I don't think we watched anything in French class. We didn't really watch anything. All the other kids were watching that Muzzy or Fuzzy, whatever you call it, or Muffy. I can't remember what it's called. But no, we didn't even watch anything in French. I barely remember my French lessons, if I'm honest. Try to learn my ancestral language first before I learn any other language. Leo, yeah, because with Germans the V's are pronounced as F's and the W's are projected as V's. That's why I was not gonna say it. I was like, which one is it again? I do listen to like German metal though, so I know how to pronounce some things, but I just don't know what those things mean. I listen to a lot of German metal. Heck, most of the music I listen to is in different languages. Listy, our teachers were lasers, so we always had videos with Antoine. So it was the guy from Eurotrash who was teaching you French in class, Listy. Okay. Okay. Now I can't remember the times we were actually watching it. We mainly watch videos and VHSs in science class. It was mainly science class we watched stuff. Yeah. To be fair, I do also remember, like, in maths class, we had, like, a really chill teacher that would just sometimes randomly put on a film that we weren't even supposed to see at that age. He just randomly put it on. He was one of the cool teachers. He was just like, look, if you do all your work this lesson, if you behave, I'll throw this shit on for you, everyone. Okay, cool, awesome. He was sound. He ended up being a drummer for my brother's band at school as well. Cool guy. Listy, you're like a lot of English people where our knowledge of German is Rammstein lyrics. Pretty much. I said, oh yeah, man, I had one of those teachers as well as 9 times out of 10, he was onto a computer and we were just playing games on it. I think, the only cool teachers I had was that guy, the maths teacher. There was another maths teacher that was pretty sound as well. And my religious studies teacher, he was pretty damn cool as well. Because I've said this before, but he was the teacher that basically let me practice my stand-up comedy at the end of lessons. My media studies teacher was sound as well. Did I actually manage to derail the stream yet again with my antics? No, I'm derailing it. I said we're going to have a nice chat before we started the countdown. We'll start the countdown in a few minutes. So yeah, top 5 Muppets. Top 5 Muppets. It was, like I said before, it was kind of tricky narrowing down like so many iconic characters, because like every time I was like making a pick, I was just like, oh, I want to include them, but do I want to include them because they're my favorites or because they're the Muppets? It's been kind of tricky. You know what, let's get on with it. Let's get on with the countdown. Let's do the countdown. I'm gonna try and find where I am on my thingy bob. This is gonna be completely unscripted again, so bear with me if I'm not articulating things very well. I'm gonna be doing the best I can though. I'll be honest though, like some of these picks, I was kind of like, oh, I guess that is one of my top 5. Okay. Here we go. If I had to learn a new language, I wish I could learn Norwegian, or Finnish, or Swedish. Oh, go for it. Okay, so top 5? Here are my top 5 favorite Muppets. My number 5 is Bobo the Bear. Yes, Bobo the Bear. As far as I know, I think he was introduced in Muppets Tonight as the security guy. I might be wrong. But what I love about him is just how dope he is. I love my dopey characters. I really do. But at the same time, I like that he's not just his one trait isn't just stupid. He's also very loyal. He's also tries his best with his job, even though he's not great at it. And doesn't matter who he's working for, he's always there for them. And yeah, it's a very simple love for this character. He just has a lot of the traits that I really like. That dopiness, that adorability, and like I'm gonna say he's a bit of a himbo. He's got a bit of a himbo thing going for him. So does his looks a tad off. He's a him bear. Leo says, now that's an obscure choice. Kugan says, oh, I don't know that Muppet. Leo, also, I don't want to get crucified, but anyone else think he looks scary in this pic? It's annoying because like he's not very photogenic. But like when you see him in actual films, that's what I mainly why I love him the most. When you see him in actual films, he doesn't look this scary. I could not find a single photogenic picture of him. He doesn't look great in photos. He honestly doesn't. But the thing is, he is really cute. He is very cute. But like, yeah, I get it though. I get it. There's something a little off. There's something a little off. But like, I just love his personality. I love his personality, and I'm gonna show you just a little clip. Can't show too much. Can't show too much. Where is the clip? Here we go.
I'm guest starring on the show tonight.
And your name, sir?
This is gonna be fun. I'm the artist formerly known as Prince.
Ooh. And I'm the bear currently known as Not Amused. Now, your name again, please.
My name has no sound. It's unpronounceable.
Look, fella, this kind of monkey business might have kept you out of the draft, but you ain't gonna fool me. Now, how would your name appear on my list here?
Yeah, so Lister made a really good point. Like, it's not a great picture, but his best role is in Muppets from Space. Absolutely. I think he's at his best in Muppets from Space. And I'm not even that much of a fan of Muppets from Space. Like, yeah, in Muppets from Space, he's a great, like, dopey minion. I feel like that's, where he's at his best is he's playing the dopey minion to the villain. Like, it works really well, because, like, he's really optimistic and kind of, like, jolly. And but at the same time incompetent, and that bounces off really well off like the serious live action human villain that he has to like play off. Leo, of course, is the clip of Prince. There wasn't actually that many Bobo clips on YouTube. That it happened to be Prince. Okay, everyone's just talking about Prince now. Can we talk about Bobo? Bobo is the reason here. So yeah, has anyone got anything they want to say about Bobo before we move on to my next choice? No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's do that. Honestly, even I didn't know that Bobo was one of my favorites, but when I really narrowed it down, I was like, yeah, his voice is sweet. I love his voice. It's a great voice. And again, I feel like I'll say again, I feel like he's best in Muppets from Space and the Muppets reboot, because in those films he's kind of a lackey for the bad guy, and like that's his personality at its peak, I think. Yeah, and I'd say there's a really good clip of him doing like some kind of like Star Wars bloopers or something that you should find on YouTube, which is actually really funny and adorable. He's just cute. It's rare for you to find a Muppets character that's like that big, to be kind of adorable at the same time, because it's mainly little small Muppets that tend to be the adorable ones. Leo, love how expressive his eyebrows are too. Yeah, I like how expressive his eyebrows are, and there's something about his default expression that looks a bit timid, kind of like oh, okay. I found that really cute. But yeah, let's move on to the next pick. So who is my number 4? So my number 4 is Miss Piggy. Sorry, just grabbing some coffee there. Miss Piggy. Okay, yeah. I knew Miss Piggy was definitely going to be my top 5 because, like, she's one of those characters that really fits the kind of character I like in general, which is the diva. I love it looks like my hands are moving for Miss Piggy in this. Like, hello? But yeah, I love my fabulous characters. I love my queens. I love my queer icons. Like, she is definitely that. What I love about Miss Piggy is like her confidence. Above anything, I adore and respect and envy her confidence. Like, she's just got so much love for herself and so much confidence in herself, and like it doesn't matter what she the other thing I really like is that like she knows what she wants, and when she wants it, she's 100% going to get that thing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say I think she's kind of inspiring. Like, there are some films where like she can be kind of selfish, or she can be kind of arrogant and stuff. But like, you kind of look over it because you're like, that's Miss Piggy, and at least she's not hiding what she wants. At least she's not like pretending to be someone else. She knows who she is. She owns it. She embraces herself. I love it. I love it. What are people in chat saying? Lista says yes, Queen. Give a guy. Oh yeah, she's one of the funny. She is really, really damn funny. Lateful girl. I really like Miss Piggy. She is a lot of fun. Brindle, honorary best Muppet. Audrey too, because both have to do a lot for Frank Oz. Kirst, you sounded like Mr. Bean for a sec there. Leo. Well, hello, Long John. I'm not doing a Miss Piggy again. I can't do Miss Piggy. Listed, do you follow her on Twitter? I don't, but I follow a lot of Muppets on Facebook. Actually, no, I also follow a lot of Muppets on Twitter. I'm not sure if I follow Miss Piggy, though. I'm not too sure. I think I should. Leo, I think we all know or have seen one woman who looks like Miss Piggy, especially in the UK. Brindle, when I was younger, I found her really annoying and did not like her, but over the years I learned to love her, and now she's one of my favourites. I think she is a character that you appreciate more the older you get, and I think that's because she's a bit different to the other Muppets. She's a bit more mature compared to the other Muppets in terms of like a design and her appeal. You need to be a bit older to be like, now I get what Miss Piggy is all about. Adam says, honestly, love her. She's such an attention hog, and I doubt that they didn't write her with that pun in mind. Leo, one quote I love because of how much it made my grand laugh was in the Christmas Carol when Scrooge says, I will have to raise her salary, to which Miss Piggy barges in front and shouts, I will have to... Whoa, chat. And I will have to raise you right off the pavement. Yeah, I do love that line. I really love that line. She's great in Muppets Christmas Carol. She really is. Like, she it's one of her smaller roles, but like she still stands out. She still gets some of the funniest bits in the film as well. I love her fashion as well, and I like how with every film and every Muppets show, her fashion like fits with the times. She's always updating her fashion in some sort of way. And another thing I really like is with a lot of, I don't know if this is a thing in America as well. It probably is, but in the UK we have a lot of interviews with Muppets. Like in-character interviews with Muppets on television for some occasions. I don't know why, but it just kind of happens. And like the Miss Piggy ones are always really funny. Because my favourite moment for her was the interview they did with Jonathan Ross, where she was basically calling out Jonathan Ross for not being his favourite. Soda, still don't get the Piggy and Kermitship. I think it's the contrast between both characters. That's my appeal of the ship. It's like you've got the timid and anxious Kermit and the loud, obnoxious Piggy, and like you put them together, and it's kind of interesting seeing that as a couple. Listy, the badly dressed line is what cracks me up on Christmas Carol. All the things Scrooge does, and her biggest problem is his clothes. So very Piggy. Yes. She's really passionate about fashion. I like it when in some versions of the Muppets, her job is to be a fashion designer, because like she was clearly born to do that. I'd say that like she seems more passionate about fashion than like singing and stage performance, if I'm honest. So yeah, Miss Piggy. Anyone else want to say something about Miss Piggy before we move on to my number 3? Doesn't it? I love that line. Brilliant. Now I have to think of the bloopers with John Oliver and the Cookie Monster. Also damn funny. Also, Oliver is very obviously a Muppet fan. I feel like everyone's a Muppet fan at this stage. I don't know who isn't. I mean, a lot of celebrities end up in Muppet films because they're Muppet fans. Can we go? What else to say? Miss Piggy is great. She is really great. Which is why it's surprising that like she's only at number 4. But yeah, I love Miss Piggy. I feel like she's so important to the whole dynamic of the Muppets as well. So damn important. She adds that oomph to the troupe. I think she like that. I don't know how to describe it, but like yeah, she adds that bit of spice to it, a bit more that like the other Muppets aren't able to bring. I diviness, that glamour. She brings that glamour to the Muppets. Yeah, she's important. She's definitely important. I mean, like when you look at the Muppets reboot, the film really starts to kick into gear when Miss Piggy comes into the troupe. Bronson, she will see where you put her. She will search for you and she will find you. Then she gets her revenge. Leo, she adds a lot of oomph, often with a literal smack. Soda, I still looked at Star Wars sketch they did with Mark Hamill and Miss Piggy as Princess Leia. Speaking of, I'm gonna need to play a clip. I'm gonna play a clip of Miss Piggy.
Come on, keep it up, Maurice.
Sorry, Miss Piggy, but you've been replaced. Permanently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Sister?
Who you calling sister? Sister?
Oh, look, an omelet station. Oh, where? There's only one Miss Piggy.
What I love about that scene is just like it just epitomizes Piggy's character. Like, again, super self-confident and knows who she is and will not let anything stand in her way. I feel like that embodies her character in that very scene. Nobody replaces Miss Piggy. Soda says she's dressed up like Lady Penelope in Thunderbirds, kinda. Leo looks up and down to get her sister. Lakeville Girl. What movie is that clip from? It's from the Muppets reboot. Muppets reboot. From Muppets 2011. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to my next choice. Who is my next choice? My next choice is for number 3. For my number 3 is Rolf the dog. Yes! I think this is a character that is taking me time to really appreciate. And I feel like I've grown even more appreciation the more I've understood Jim Henson's legacy and Jim Henson himself. Because the two characters that are most like Jim, without a doubt, are Ralph and Kermit. And like Ralph is like his cheeky side. He definitely had like a really cheeky side to him that you didn't really see that often. But behind the scenes, yeah, he was he was naughty. Let's just say Jim was very naughty behind the scenes sometimes. But yeah, Rolf is just great. He just beams charm. Just beams charm. He's both got the energy of a dog, but also the wit of a vaudeville comedian and the talents of some of the greatest jazz pianists. It's just great. It's just great. He's a triple threat. I just love him. So, guys, I think I don't appreciate him enough yet. It can take time. It can take time. And I feel like the problem is that a lot of the bigger Muppet titles don't really make great use out of him. And I think they should. But it is kind of tricky to find a place for him in a Muppet story. It's really tricky. But the thing is, if you watch him... Because if you watch him, I'd say before the Muppets. Because, like, he kind of was a character before the Muppets as well. Was a character that Jim would play on talk shows and stuff. If you look for talk show interviews with Rolf, they are hilarious. They're so damn funny, and like he's a character where Jim lets just be the rudest and like the most adult. Leah says, still remember him from one of those dark early adverts, like when the mini Kermits say, "And if you don't buy us, we'll break both your arms," and he's just panicking like, okay. Brindle, fun fact, Rolf is the favorite Muppet of Quentin Tarantino. Okay. So yeah, it's hard to really break down Rolf because like he's just a very simple character. It's a very simple character, and I really like the old-fashioned style of his comedy as well. Like the way he can like throw a one-liner in or something like that. It's really hard to explain. I feel like you really need to see him in interviews to really get the best of his character. But it's tricky to find some decent like clips of his interviews. Like he went on the Arsenio Hall talk show and just basically went, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" I can't even give it justice. Yeah. Brundle mentioned it. Listy, he looks like Zippy from Rainbow, but with ears and a nose. The body and head is exactly the same. Yeah, I've always thought that as well. It is basically Zippy as a dog. But yeah, let's get a clip of Ralph from the Muppet movie.
I'm no Heifetz, but I get by.
That was very nice.
Oh. Hey, broken heart, right?
Was it sure?
Listen, when you've been tickling the ivories as long as I have, you've seen a broken heart for every drop of rain, a shattered dream for every fallen star.
The thing is that, like, I feel like that was the best use, one of the best uses of Rolf in one of the Muppet films. Like, it's a very small cameo, but, like, it's such a wonderful moment between him and Kermit. And, like, it's even more profound when you remember that, like, okay, these are the two sides of Jim Henson talking to each other, and they're both voiced by Jim Henson as well. Yeah, I wish I had more to. Honestly wish I had more to say. Brundle says, sad thing that they don't use him so much anymore since Henson's death, but I also appreciate that they kept him to honor Henson. Yeah, I think he needs more. I feel like they need to make more use out of him, especially bring him into more talk shows, because again, that's where he's at his best. That's where he's definitely at his best. Brundle says, it's so weird when you consider that it is Henson singing a duet with himself. It is, yeah. Yeah. And that was Henson's favorite thing to do, by the way. When it came to any stage of filmmaking, his favorite was singing the songs, especially with like the other Muppeteers. He loved the song singing parts. So yeah, Ralph, legend, absolute legend. Go watch his talk show appearances. Go watch them. They're really, really good. Let me move these. What am I doing? Move. He is the OG Muppet. Yeah. One more thing I will say about Rolf is that, like, he's one of the oldest Muppets, but, like, his humor and his persona still holds up today. It's still funny today. Still great today. Okay, so who is my number 2? Who is in second place? Who am I going to put in my number 2? Because we're getting closer to 1 now. This might end up narrowing things down a bit more. But my number 2 is Kermit. Yes, my number 2 is actually Kermit. Oh yeah, I have seen clips of Rolf with dogs. I wanted to find one. So yeah, my number 2 is Kermit the Frog. Most iconic one of all, the most memorable one, the one that everyone thinks of first. And while he isn't my number 1 place, like, I still friggin' love him. I still adore him. I still really love him. Because he's just so pure, he's so wholesome, and I really relate to him. I really definitely relate to him, because he's in a position of leadership, and he's very anxious. And as a director and filmmaker with anxiety, that's just something I really connect to. He is very much the heart and soul of the Muppets, though. He really is. Like, he's not just a great leader in terms of, like, trying to, like, keep the circus together and trying to keep a control on the chaos and the anarchy. But, like, he's also the one that, like, reminds the Muppets to have a sense of love have a sense of camaraderie between them. Because King of the Memes, yes, he is actually. I thought Kermit would be number 1. What a twist. Brundle, oh yes, the Muppet. You can't hate him. Who would hate Kermit? What's to hate about Kermit? He's just wonderful. Leo, so iconic that even in the new age, he's the favourite of so many memes. Yeah, he's very memeable because he's got a very expressive face. That's one of the things I really like about him is that while he is pure, while he is wholesome, and he's sweet and he's cute, there is this little edge to him at the same time, that is there that stops him from just being too squeaky clean. Like he like I said, he can be very anxious, he can be very sensitive. The slightest thing can make him very nervous. And like if you tick him off, you can really tick him off. There are clips of him being really, really angry. It's like he does have a backbone. Listy, I didn't really like Kermit because he's much more mellow post Jim, but when I went back and watched his earlier appearances and how frazzled he gets backstage, it's hilarious. Yeah, there is that other side of him. For me, my favourite Kermit is definitely like the, Flip Me Sideways. What's his name again? How have I forgot his name? Brian Henson. The Brian Henson movies. I like him at his best in the Brian Henson films, where he's really well cast as like Bob Cratchit and characters like that. Brindle, still ashamed that they fired Steve Whitmire. He was a really good legacy from Henson. Yeah, Steve was honestly a really damn good Kermit. Really good. Kirst, I love his cover of Rainbow Connection during quarantine. Definitely helped keep me going during that time. Oh, Leo, it's amazing how much comedy you can get from a really good impression of Kermit. Just listening to someone go off on one with a Kermit voice is just the funniest thing. It is. It honestly is. Leo, always love it when his face gets scrunched up when annoyed. Yes. Kermit is anything but squeaky clean. He has a lot of anger issues. He does. Even in Sesame Street, some of his angriest moments happen in Sesame Street, by the way. He does not have the patience for characters in Sesame Street. Soda, yes, I've seen the clip of Kermit losing it on Cookie Monster. Well. Well.
It goes QRS. You're just teasing me. W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time Cookie Monster can do it with you. I'm leaving.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks.
No, so cute. Bear with me one sec. I'm just gonna move Kermit's face out of my way. No, that's the text. What you have to remember with scenes like that is that Jim is down below like that. Jim is down below in front of the little girl, and scenes like that were often improvised. The kids were always allowed to like improvise and stuff. And what I also really like is that there was always a rule on set for Sesame Street for Jim Henson. Whenever a child came on set, every Muppeteer there had to go straight into character. They had to keep even if they weren't filming, they wanted every child that visited the set to like believe in the magic as soon as they got there. And I think that's so adorable to me. Cursed, and then he threw himself off an apartment roof. Brundle, there's a video of outtakes from the Muppets in Disneyland, and there is a scene of Piggy being hysterical. Kermit slaps her and then says, "What? She was acting hysterical." It was so random and out of place that it's funny every time. It is adorable. Leo, fun fact for those that don't know, scientists recently discovered a new glass frog, also known as Kermit's frog. I think I heard about this. Named because he literally looks like Kermit. I'm not even kidding, literally Kermit in real life. Soda, Kermit has no patience for kids. But yeah, that scene is adorable, and like a lot of other clips, it just embodies his character. Like, he can get easily frustrated, he can be nervous, he can be anxious, but at the end of the day, he's got so much heart and so much love to give. And like, the Muppets wouldn't keep coming back if it wasn't for his love. So yes, so Kermit was my number 2, which is probably throwing a lot of people off now, because Kermit is a very obvious number 1. So who do you think my number 1 is? Who do you think it could be? Cast, I love when he was interviewing the celebs on the Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and he dressed up as Jack Sparrow. Listy, Jam has said his number 1 many times in streams. Yep, I have. I have quite a few times because people kept asking me. Nearly every Q&A, that was one of the questions. It's not Ellen because it's not, this isn't a Sesame, I'm not counting Sesame Street characters. It's not a Sesame Street character, it's definitely a Muppet character. Who do you think it could be? It's kind of fun that Listy is the only one that's probably remembered at this stage. Yeah, and I'm not cheating because I don't remember who your favorite is. Okay, so my favorite. Who is my favorite? My favorite is Gonzo. It's Gonzo. Absolutely Gonzo. I adore Gonzo. Always have. Always have. He's always been my favorite Muppet because I've always loved the weirdos. I love... A bit like how Miss Piggy is really out there with like a fabulousness and a glamour and a divaness. I have always loved how Gonzo's out there with his weirdness. Like that, there's always been this sense of like confirmation whenever I've seen him, because I've always felt a bit of a weirdo. And like, he's someone that's just never been apologetic or afraid of just being strange, absolutely strange, and like enjoying his own logic, enjoying his own way of things, and like just having fun being himself. And like, I even loved like how his clothes just seem strange as well. His fashion is all weird. It's the kind of fashion I want to wear myself, if I'm honest. And like, while I have mixed feelings about Muppets from Space, I definitely kind of, a part of me does kind of resonate with his story of trying to like discover himself and not fitting in and stuff like that. I knew it. Gonzo can't even be described. He's just Gonzo. Why is it number 2 on screen? Yeah, I don't know why that's the case. Sorry, folks. I will fix that. I don't know why it's number 2. It's not my number 2. He's my number 1. He's my my number 1. Gonzo's number 1. Brundle says, "All hail our king and savior Gonzo the Great." Barakuma says, "Need to see the Muppets in space again for the scene where his nose gets turned upside down." Ow, ow, I feel that bit. Because do I even have to say my favourite role of his is the narrator of Muppets Christmas Carol? He's an amazing narrator. Such a great, like, host in general, just a great host. I kind of wish that he would, like, host things more. Barakuma is Gonzo is an MB icon. He really is. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Leo, for the longest time I thought Gonzo was meant to be a vulture. Gonzo's an alien, technically. In canon, he's supposed to be an alien. I'm not sure how well they've stuck to that since. Brundle, before seeing from space, I thought he was a fly because of his nose, which just reminds me of them. Listy, dressed like a 1990s Nickelodeon sitcom dad. I think he's dressed more interesting than that. But yeah, Gonzo is always going to be my favorite Muppet. Even as a kid, I was like, yes, I like Gonzo's my favorite out of this bunch. I always gravitated towards the characters that were the weirdest and the characters people will paying least attention to. So I thought he was some kind of aardvark. Yep, he's an alien technically. Technically an alien. I don't know if they've kept this up to date or if they've decided to retcon it since, but as far as I know, he is supposed to be an alien, and all his fellow race looks like him, and they're very funky. Barakun, my number 1s are fighting. Oh, we'll definitely get to number 1 soon, Barakun. We'll definitely get. So we'll get to yours. We'll get to the chat's choices soon. We'll just talk about Gonzo first. Yeah. So what else do people want to say about Gonzo before we move on? Before we talk about your favourites? What do you want to say about Gonzo? What can you say about Gonzo? Brundle, after From Space, they just called him a thing again. Most prominent example is we're doing a sequel where he calls himself a thing. I also think that is what they called him in 2011. Boo! He's an alien. I've always liked the alien twist. Soda, best 10 out of 10. Best Muppet 10 out of 10. He is 10 out of 10. I'd say he's 20 out of 10. Absolutely. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. I mean, like, when I've got a bigger place and I can actually afford to buy merch, I'm probably going to get some Gonzo stuff. I'll be down to getting the actual Gonzo puppet. If I was going to get any puppet, probably Gonzo. Technically, Alien is a thing. Technically, but probably not the. When I think of thing, I think of like John Carpenter's thing. So that's not what I associate Gonzo with. Listy, Beaker singing "Feelings" is probably my favorite Muppet sketch because of the reactions behind him. 9,000 out of 10. I'm guessing no one has anyone got anything else they want to say about Gonzo before we switch places and you get to talk? But I just love I'm Going Back There Someday from the first movie. I love that song. I love that song so much. Every time I hear that song, it's just such a beautiful song. Leo, it seems he's definitely used more in Muppet adaptations like Treasure Island, Christmas Carol. Otherwise, he tends to take more of a backstage compared to Kermit. Yeah. He's another one of the Muppet characters where the filmmakers today don't know what to really do with him. Especially since Muppets from Space. But the thing is, like, he's at his best. He's at his best when he's either a sidekick to the hero or a narrator. I feel like those are his best roles. That's why it's okay to typecast him if those are things what he's best. I go for it. I mean, there's been chats of one day hopefully getting a Princess Bride Muppets movie. I don't know if it'll ever happen. It's probably just a fan theory, but like I'm 100% down for it. And like I feel like you could have Gonzo again being the narrator. I'll be down for that. Listy, he's just the guy that gets blown up or flirts with chickens and everything else. Pretty much. Yeah, it's like they don't know what to really do with him besides that. Yeah. But there is more you can do with him. You really could. Brunel, also, can I just take a moment to address that Camilla was not really in from space, even if she is his wife? That's a good point. That's kind of a good point. Yeah. Can we just get like a rom-com with him and Camilla? Let's just get a Gonzo movie with him and Camilla. I'll be down for that. That'd be cool. I'd be cool with that. Okay, let's... Oh yeah, so before we move on, I'm gonna play... Let's play a little clip of Gonzo.
And now for the second time this evening, the great Gonzo will attempt a motorcycle jump off of this stage into that box up there, landing safely between those two elderly gentlemen.
We're not afraid. We know Gonzo.
If at first you don't succeed, fail again.
And so here he is now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ready, Kermit!
Yeah, I'm introducing you.
Introduce fast, I'm really ready.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the great Gonzo!
There, that was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, so who is your favourite Muppet and why? Your chance to talk now. Your chance to talk. I want to watch more of the Muppet Show, if I'm honest. I need to watch more episodes. Who's the $1 million question? Why do these hecklers always keep coming to the Muppet Show? Because they enjoy heckling. They enjoy the heckle. Gonzo driving a car. That would be an interesting Muppet movie. He could do the Fast and the Feltiest. Here we go. For once, Statler and Waldorf were the butt of the joke. Yeah. But they're also the butt of the joke in the SNL sketch as well. They did the other year. Okay. So yeah, who's your favourite Muppet and why? Let me know in chat. Let me know in chat before I head off. I'd like to hear your favourite. Could be guy. Outside Gonzo, I like Beaker and Honeydew a lot. Why? I want to know why. I want to hear the whys. But I do like Beaker and Honeydew. They were close to being my top 5. They really were. And you can't really split them up as well. They're a great duo. They work really well as a duo, as a comedic duo. Listy, I like Rizzo. Shame they had to retire him. Yeah. That is frustrating. Another character that came close to being my top 5. It's like they speaking of what they had no idea what to do with. They were clueless about Rizzo. It's like a lot of all the other old Muppet films had the templates of what to do with these characters, and then people took over and was like, Leo says Animal. Got to love Animal. Love that motherfucker. Yeah, he's crazy. He's absolutely bonkers. Barakuma, I guess I'll say again, number one's hard for me to pick between Beaker, Pepe, and Dr. Teeth. Favorite has to be Beaker then, because I cosplayed him and he made me get into the Muppets. Aww. Here we go. Because their sketches reminds me of Looney Tunes sketches for some reason. Yes, yeah, they're the wackiest. They're the wackiest sketches, and like they're the most. Excuse the pun, but they are the most experimental because they're the most effects driven. Because they're always having to come up with like all these kind of like inventions and like strange things happening to Beaker every time. They are very visually inventive, and sometimes it can go into the uncanny valley for Beaker. Listy. Rizzo is very dry-witted and easily annoyed, but loyal to Gonzo and his rap family friends. Yeah. Kirst, I'm starting to appreciate Sam the Eagle a bit more. Mostly because I love grumpy wound-up characters. Yes. Honestly, Sam Eagle, very, very close to being my top 5. Very close. I think the more I've gotten older, the more I've gone like, I get Sam Eagle now. I get him. Yeah, Sam's great. Sam's great. Especially as a foil to like all the other sillier characters, because he takes himself so seriously. You need a Sam Eagle in there. You really need a Sam Eagle in there. I feel like my favorite Sam Eagle role is probably in Most Wanted. He's really great in Most Wanted. But I also think he's also great as the headmaster in A Christmas Carol. Brundle, I really can't take one. I love them all so much. But if I would have to take Kermit, Gonzo, Fozzie, Piggy, Rolf in that order, but I just love them all to take the others out. That's how I felt doing this countdown. It felt wrong in not including some of them. Like, the great thing about the Muppets is that it's an ensemble act. And, like, the Muppets in general, you gotta appreciate the bunch and all of them together. So it's hard doing a top 5 on them. Leo, I love Sam Eagle. He always looks how I feel. Give me a guy. Sam and his dry humor is pretty great as well. Kirst, it's called a salute to all nations, but mostly America. Brundle, Jam, do you know Bernard the Bread, by the way? No. Doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid. Doesn't ring a bell. I'm out of coffee now. Okay, so I feel like I've given everyone a chance to say who their favorites are. Before I go, Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time, a second SpongeBob SquarePants quiz. I worked very hard on this one. I think I spent like quite a bit on this one. I'm trying to improve my quiz game, so I was working very, very hard. So yeah, I was gonna host this one last week, but then I ended up in A&E, so I couldn't do it. So that's Wednesday, and Friday, I will be playing a load of childhood games from my PC. A load of Windows 95 games. I've managed to find emulators for like 9 of them. Very randomly, I ended up like in a line of them. I was like, oh, that. I have to give credit to Computer Guy for like recommending ROM Station. But on ROM Station, load of them are on there. And then I found a bunch online as well that are like suited for. They've been like redesigned and repackaged to work on a Windows 10. So that's gonna be a really fun night. You're gonna get to see me being super nostalgic finally. Where am I in chat now? Leo, a good way to sum up your personality is saying which Muppets you are. Some days you're Sam Eagle, some days you're Animal. Yeah, goodbye, Soda. Brundle, it is a German puppet show about Burned, a living bread which has depression. It is one of the best German productions by the state. So it's a sad bread. Okay. I will. I'm kind of curious now how that's become iconic. A sad piece of bread. Soda, thank God for that. Computer Guy, I can't wait to see that. Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait for Friday. This is one of the streams I'm most excited for this week. I'm really giddy for it. I've not played any of these games since I was a kid. Not a single one. It was kind of wild because what I actually did is I found the official list for the bundle that came with my Windows 95 PC. I found the official list and I went through the list and was like, oh my god, oh, that game, I remember that game now. And I started looking for them and I got them, and so yeah, it's gonna be great. So Friday, 8 p.m. UK time on my Twitch, come watch me play a load of Windows 95 games. I'm gonna be playing as many as I can until I fall asleep. Brundle, it's very iconic in Germany, but not known outside of here. Soda, let's hope the glitch lemons appear. Nah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm pretty certain the Friday stream is gonna be fine. Because because of the emulators I'm relying on are a bit different compared to read, write, and type, so it should be fine. But yeah, hope you're happy, hope you're smiling, hope you have a good day. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time it is for you. And